Got the small 6-inch coil on this detector, and I don't want anybody to get any wrong ideas, but there may be a problem, so maybe with lower conductors and the way this machine may be IDing them. Okay, I'm going to turn this machine on. This machine came to me with version 1.05 in it, okay? And I'm going to check it in this version before I update this machine, okay? Now, bear with me. Now, I ain't been navigating this screen long, okay? About 25 minutes. So I'm in, looks like field, okay? I'm in the field program. I got this backlight on. Maybe you can see this in this camera here. Multi 1, okay? Ground balance is at 0. From about 2.5, 3 inches above that nickel, I've got a deadlock 26 on a US nickel elevated above the ground. Went into ground balance. Now I'm going to elevate this ground balance way up there, boys. We'll stop on about 70. Okay, there you see it there. Now I'm going to sweep this nickel again. I've got a deadlock 26 in the meter. Okay. So that's multi 2 field. Ground balance of 70. All right. Still got a 26 lock in the meter. And I'm going to run the ground balance back to 0 in multi 2, field multi 2. Okay. You see it there? All right. We have a 26 lock. Now, I'm going to check 15 kilohertz. Ground balance is 0. Okay. 26 lock. I'm going to elevate the ground balance again. Setting up to 70. Okay. Looks like a 26 again, okay? And 40 kilohertz. Ground balance is still at 70. Looks like 26 again. Let the ground balance down on this machine. Back to 0. Okay. 26. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to update this machine to 1.08. And I'm going to retest what you just seen in this video here. Now, if I don't see any difference, I'm not going to post the video. If I see a difference, I'm going to post the video, okay? And the manufacturer might see it. And if anybody wants to send it to them when I post it, hey, have a ball, okay? So stand by. And I may, if I don't see it with a small call, I may put the big call on there and try it just for gee whiz. We've got this Legend out here again, and I've got it updated. We're going to redo the same test I did with the US nickel elevated above the ground yesterday. I checked version 1.05, which is what this unit come with. Okay, so I'm turning the unit on, and I've got 10108 and a pretty close to the upper right portion of the screen. Okay. Now I've got the backlight on this machine. It may help see this screen better with this sun glare coming in here. There's no screen protector on the screen right now whatsoever. Okay. Before I do this test, I'm going to scroll across the bottom to the user profile icon. And I'm going to hold the pinpoint key. You see that in the meter there? FD. So evidently, I think I've done this correctly. That's a user profile reset, okay? So there, my backlight went back to 0. So I'm turning her back up to 5 so you can see it. Okay. And we're going to be, on this test here, I'm just using field, and I'm going to check multi-1, multi-2, and some single frequency ops. That's ground balance of 0, okay? So here's a nickel elevated above the ground. I'm going to guesstimate about 16 inches, 18 inches, okay? A 26 lock, 0 ground balance. Now I'm going in here and I'm going to intentionally dial the ground balance up to 70. That's all I've done, okay? And we're going to sweep this same nickel from about 2.5, 3 inches. You see that ID in that meter? 22, 23, okay? Now I'm going to go to multi-2. Ground balance is at 70, okay? 22, 23 in the meter for ID. Now I'm going to let the ground balance down to 0. Okay, and we're going to sweep the nickel again. 26 lock, which I believe is the correct ID, okay? Now we're going to go in here and we're going to go to, I'm not going to check M3. I guess I could. Version 1.05 didn't have M3, so we'll check M3. Ground balance is at 0. Got that good old 26 in there. And we're elevating the ground balance to 70. Okay, there we go. M3. We get a 23 in the window on ground balance. Okay, so now I'm going to go over here. We'll just start at 15 kilohertz. There's a ground balance dialed in of 70. 26 ID. Okay, so we don't really see a problem there. I will let the ground balance down and we'll check it at 0. Okay, 15 kilohertz, 26. All right, now we're going to 20 kilohertz. That's a ground balance of 0. 26. And we'll elevate the ground balance to 70. All right. 26, that's good. 40 kilohertz, ground balance of 70. 26. And I'll let the ground balance back to 0. Okay. I'm getting 26. So you can see there's definite difference between version 1.05 and version 1.08. So when you're ground balancing this machine, and what I'll do is I'll get out of here. Okay, there's M multi-1 field. Okay. And my ground here. I believe I've got some, there it is. It's about a 37, okay? And then multi-2. About 40. So what I'm saying is when you ground balance this machine, it appears that on that nickel there, it's going to drive your ID, okay? Now, what we'll do here while I'm standing here with this machine, here is a zinc and penny, okay? We'll check it real quick just to see, okay? There's feel melty 1. We'll dial the ground balance to 0. Okay. 42. Gonna elevate the ground balance just to 70. All right. Looks like a 42. Okay, we'll check M2 right quick. That's a 70 ground balance. That's showing 41. That's a little low, but let's see what happens when we let the ground balance back down. To 0. All right. Well, that's 41 too. So I don't see the difference using that zinc and penny that I see using a nickel, okay? A lower conductor. And just for gee whiz, on this zinc and penny, I'm gonna run the ground balance even past 70. That's max of 99. So that looks good, okay? We'll leave this machine set up like it is, and I'm gonna put this nickel back down here. Okay, so now I'm in feel melty 2, ground balance is 99, okay? A 20 for ID. And then I'm gonna let the ground balance all the way back down to 0. All right. Oh, look at that. 6-point difference in ID going just playing with the ground phase on this machine on that elevated nickel lower conductor. Okay. And I don't believe you will see this in version. I can say this pretty certain you won't see this in version 1.05, but I didn't check previous version 1.06 or 7 or whatever. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If anybody wants to send this to the manufacturer and let them take a look at it, have a ball.